Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about a movie called All Shades of Tokyo.
Audio Jungle.
A young and attractive American woman named Margaret comes to Tokyo to teach Japanese flight attendants English pronunciation. During the day she teaches English at the flight academy, and in the evenings she meets at a bar with her friend Inessa's friends Liam. On one of these evenings, Margaret starts kissing the first Japanese man she meets waiting in line for the toilet, but then returns to her friends, offering to go in search of adventures. Left alone with Margaret, Liam begins to hint to the girl that they could have a good time together, but Margaret turns him down, saying that the guy is like a brother to her. A car stops on the street next to the girl. The man behind the wheel examines Margaret for a long time, after which he leaves, and the girl suddenly tells her friends that it's time for her to go to the hotel where she rents a room. On the way, Margaret goes to another bar, where she picks up a young Asian man, with whom they go to the Hotel of Love, offering hourly room rental services. Removing the belt from her new friend, Margaret throws it around her neck and asks the Asian to tighten the noose harder. Hearing that the girl started coughing, the guy lets go of the belt, because he can't continue it. In the morning, Margaret rushes to class, a little late. Her mentor, perfectly understanding what's going on, says that the girl needs to take a day off, as she seems to have caught a cold. On the way home, Margaret looks into a bookstore, where she meets with Kazu, the same man who stopped in the car next to her last night and looked at the girl. When she asks what he is looking for, the Japanese looks at Margaret and leaves, and the girl goes after him. They don't come to the Hotel of Love, where Margaret asks to tie her hands. Kazu is a little confused, but still fulfills the girl's request. After the cupcake, Margaret goes to the bathroom, and when she comes out, the Asian man has already disappeared. With the onset of the evening, the girl again goes to meet her friends, who understand from her happy eyes that Margaret has finally tried Japanese pepper. The next day, after class, Kazu is waiting for Margaret. The man offers to have lunch together. The couple arrives at a nice restaurant, in front of which Kazu takes off his shoes. Covering her leaky socks, Margaret suggests going somewhere else. The couple is having a nice conversation until they are accidentally pushed by an elderly Japanese man. It doesn't bother the girl much, but Kazu remains on edge. When Margaret goes to the toilet, Kazu approaches the table where the same elderly Asian man is sitting, having a loud conversation with his company. Coming out of the toilet, Margaret notices that the restaurant has become very quiet, and this noisy company sitting at the next table has disappeared somewhere. After having a snack, they go back to the Hotel of Love. After the cupcake, Kazu confesses that he has a fiancée and is getting married soon, and that seems to make Margaret sad. After collecting her things, the girl goes home. In the morning, Margaret somehow gets up because of last night, when she went to a nightclub with her friend Ince. At the flight academy, Margaret conducts the last lesson of retaking the flight attendant's exams. One of her students hands the girl a gift-wrapped book. Inside is a Kama Sutra with a business card of the Hotel of Love, which was handed over by Kazu. Having met a man once again, Margaret asks Kazu if he cut off someone's finger, because, judging by the tattoos, Kazu is related to the criminal environment. The man explains that the guilty person cuts off his own finger as an apology. Every time he looks at the crop, he will remember what he has done. Margaret immediately wonders if Kazu loves his future wife. According to him, he feels loyalty. Yes, this is dislike in the usual sense, but you can't stay alone in this world. With the onset of evening, Margaret again goes to a nightclub to her friends. Liam introduces the girls to his girlfriend Louise, about whom neither Margaret nor Inez the guy did not tell anything. In the morning, Margaret meets Kazu at the flying academy, who has a gift for the girl, new socks. A man calls a girl to take a ride on the train. Today, her wards have pronunciation exams and Margaret reluctantly agrees to go with Kazu. A man takes Margaret to the Buddha temple, entering which, according to legend, you can be reborn into a new person. Leaving the temple, Kazu says that it's Margaret's birthday today. The couple returns back to Tokyo. Tired, Margaret falls asleep on the train, and when she wakes up, she finds that Kazu is not there. The next day, the girl finds out that a replacement was picked up for her at the flight academy. Nakamura hands her an envelope with the last salary. Margaret tries to justify herself, but the mentor does not want to listen to anything. After collecting her things, Margaret heads to the exit, silently waving goodbye to the Japanese woman, who ran out to Margaret with the words that she would miss the girl. Margaret meets Ines, who admits that she will soon leave Japan forever. Left all alone, the girl starts more and more new lovers, trying to drown out the pain inside herself. One day, while walking around the city, Margaret accidentally notices Kazu. The man accompanies his bride, after which he is driven to the hotel. Margaret follows him, but once inside, she loses the man. The girl starts knocking on all the rooms and calling Kazu. Noticing her on surveillance cameras, the man grabs the girl and leads her to the security room. Margaret confesses her love to Kazu. Unable to restrain himself, the man begins to kiss her, after which they have a cupcake right in the security room. Returning to her room, Margaret discovers eviction notices from the room. Having no other options, the girl decides to get a job in a brothel. On her first work shift, she, along with other butterflies, must serve wealthy Japanese. But Margaret gets drunk, as a result of which she falls asleep right in the toilet. Full of despair, Margaret smokes on the street, where she is noticed by Louise, Liam's girlfriend, who, according to her, was deported from Japan because of an expired visa. Looking at the depressed Margaret, Louise invites her to have a snack. In the evening, the girl walks around the city. An elderly Asian man follows her, from whom Margaret descends into the subway. Thinking that she has lost her pursuer, the girl stops and takes out a cigarette. Hearing the sound of a lighter behind her, Margaret turns around and sees the same Japanese man who followed her. They go to the Hotel of Love. It seems that this is the only Asian who is not surprised by Margaret's BDSM inclinations, but on the contrary. The Japanese orders the girl to undress, then ties her to the bed. The Asian believes that Margaret's inclinations do not make her any special. Sitting next to her on the bed, the Japanese says that he could easily kill the girl now, to which she herself asks to end it as soon as possible. Kazu bursts into the room, freeing the girl. There is no finger on his right hand, which indicates his atonement for his fiancée. Margaret is leaving Japan. The girl calls Kazu from the plane, telling him that now she really feels that she has been reborn. After saying that he is glad to hear this, Margaret says goodbye to the man. In the cabin of the plane, the girl recognizes a Japanese stewardess from the group that Margaret taught English pronunciation and who ran out to say that she would miss Margaret. They smile when they recognize each other. This is where the film ends. Thank you for watching and see you on the channel.